I'm actually not quite sure this is the right title for today's video, but I wanted to go through a really, really important lesson that I think is really honestly one of the most crucial things that you can learn to how to limit your risk and basically also increase your profit potential dramatically. And it's kind of logical if you think about it. So a lot of people will focus on like one fundamental aspect, PE ratios or cash flow or something, or one thing on a chart, like it's a simple moving average or something like that. The trouble with that is that you're using a single factor model, and while it could work for a trade here and there, for the most part, what you want to look for is a lot of things coming together, whether it's technical, fundamental, and so on and so on. And we talked about this in the video earlier, but I have a real example right now, and I want to show you actually a better way to express those views at these what's called a confluence. So let's have a look at the chart, and so you can see this. So what we're looking at here is the ETF representing transportation stocks. It's IYT. And the point in time you want to look at here is right here. And you can see at that juncture, price level was like, let's see, move it over a little bit, somewhere around 188 or so. You can see a lot of things came together. What came together? Well, we have the yellow line, the blue line, and the red line. What these are basically simple moving averages. They are your 200-day, your 100-day in blue, and your 50-day in yellow. And so those are three different things coming together, offering a lot of technical resistance here at 188 and change. And of course, you can see in the meantime, the stock or the ETF in this case is already reversed. But we can start playing with this, and you can even go ahead and look at fundamental things, maybe look at individual stocks within this ETF, which would be hugely important. But let's just keep it even simpler than that for right now and have a look at a Fibonacci retracement. So this is one other technical tool you can use, and you go from the highs down to the lows, and what you'll find is that we had an exact, and you may not be able to see it as perfectly as you may want to, we had an exact 50% retracement of this move. So from the highs up here down to the lows, we've retraced 50%. All that came together at the 188-ish area. Maybe it's 187 and change, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. This area here. And so what can you do? I mean, at that point in time, you could go ahead and maybe short the stock, right? That's one opportunity. Trying to get rid of this thing here so you can see this a little better. Wonderful, that doesn't want to work. There you go. Okay, so at this juncture here, you could short a stock, right? Or short the ETF. You could buy a put, you could buy a put spread, but there's actually one way that I've done for now 19 years that has a dramatically higher chance of making money. It's got a chance between 80 and 90%, particularly in situations like these. And what we're doing a very specific option strategy, super crazy simple. Essentially, we're selling options in a very specific way that I can promise you there's about a 1% chance at most that you've ever done this before, exactly the way we do it. Year over year, this strategy has made 3%, something like that, and that's more or less the statistics also of the past 18 years. So a super high probability strategy, and a lot of it has to do about finding the right spots, but not so much than making a directional bet, like right here. In this case, we wouldn't say short the stock or the ETF or buy a put, which means you have to make a directional bet that the stock goes lower. We're simply saying it's not going to go, say, up here, which is a very, very different bet and a much more higher probability. But again, we're doing this in a very specific way. Now, I'm going to reveal the strategy to you guys on Thursday, June 27th. Let me move this around on this screen. And you can join. It's a free webinar. The webinar is called Max Your Profit Potentially with Options. It's a very simple strategy. It's very conservative, but it's more importantly super crazy high probability. So if you are looking to maybe just be more consistent, maybe you want to generate income from the market, maybe you want to have a income from the stock market, maybe you want to just have a less stressful way of trading and investing and just higher probability of returns, I'd encourage you to sign up for the webinar. It's free, and we'll teach you all the details you need to know. In the meantime, have a great day, and I'll see you in the webinar.